I don't know about you guys, but when I looked at the thermometer this morning, I said, God almighty, son. Man, it is cold out. Also, this one today goes out to my peeps in Chicago. I heard that it's colder there than Antarctica. I don't even really know how that happens, but man, I hope you guys got your wool socks on. Coming to you taped from Brooklyn, New York, it's True Crime Loser. How you doing, everybody? Man, it almost feels like the last day of school here at True Crime Loser because I'm finally done going through the interrogation. It was 7 parts. I'm real glad I don't have to watch another hour of that interrogation and take notes on it. I was going a little mad, people. All right, so today I just wanted to talk about the arrest, just literally them chaining him up, just like a little monkey with no shoes on in his basketball shorts, and they kind of just yank him around that station. And then how his lawyers decided to handle it, which I think was smooth and great, and really the only thing that was smooth and great about this. And then kind of the sentencing and how the DA handled his job and how the judge and just kind of that whole, the closure. And yeah, and then, I mean, I'm not going to be opposed to doing another Chris Watts video if I think of one, but at the end of this, I think I'll be able to kind of close this chapter, which is going to feel good. It's been a while. This channel has been so great. So I want to say thank you to everybody that's been... I didn't have any friends that were even cared about this case. And it was hard to, like, get people into it. I'd always be like, hey, like, I've been, like, watching this thing. It's crazy. This guy killed his whole family in Colorado. And they'd be like, oh, cool. Just kind of walk away. I was like, yeah, all right. And so that's why I kind of started this YouTube. I was like, there's got to be some people on YouTube that want to talk about it. And here we are. So also I was thinking last night, what if Chris would have pled not guilty and just got a sleazy grease ball of a lawyer like Casey Anthony did, and that lawyer would have started having good days? It would have been an absolute circus. Can you imagine? There would have been so many people outside the courtroom, it would have looked like a Grateful Dead concert. I bet there would have been like someone on like someone's shoulders, like holding up a sign, woo, report as everyone's leaving the courtroom, just. And who knows what would have happened? You really never know. Everybody that watched the Casey Anthony, everybody that watched the coverage every night thought she was going away for sure. And everybody that, at least me, as I was watching the trial, I was thinking, I don't know. This guy, that lawyer was good. And he just was planting little doubt here. Wonder what that is there. And it was starting to build up. But I'm really glad that we didn't have to. I think that his lawyers were probably just like, Chris, let's stop wasting everyone's time. Let's stop wasting all the taxpayers' money. Okay? If you try to fight this, it's not going to look good, I know Cindy wanted to fight. I wanted him to fight it, and I think that's just typical for a parent. What mom is going to not want them to fight it? But there was really only 2 options. Either he's going to live in the shit box, we're going to feed and water him until he dies. That's option 1. Option 2, he's going to sit in the concrete shit box for years. We're going to feed and water him, and then years and years down the road, we're going to strap him to a dentist chair and pump him full of drugs until he's dead. That's it. And so there's no reason to draw that out. There's only two options. Why draw it out? Let's just do it. I thought that the Colorado justice system did great. All right, but let's go back a little bit to just when he was cuffed. So Tammy and Graham finished their masterpiece. I mean, they're going to be legends in the true crime world for a long time. And they deserve a break. I hope they go and sit on the beach in Costa Rica or something, because they deserve it. What a nightmare. So Tammy leaves the room, and Graham he's still trying to be nice the way he's been this whole time, going, hey, Chris, can we talk about something? You know, that this whole time they've been like, Chris, can we talk about something hard? Like kind of treating him. And he goes, hey, Chris, I don't know quite how we're going to handle it, but I think I'm going to take your stuff. But you can tell as he's saying that and being nice about it, he realizes, like, wait, I don't have to be really nice to this guy. It's over. And so he's like, hey, Chris, I don't know how we're going to handle it. And he realizes and goes, oh, Chris, I'm taking your stuff. Yep, I'm taking it. And he takes his 2 phones and his wallet, and what a sobering moment that is. Just, you are not going to need this anymore, monkey boy. Not where you're going. Not where you're going. You're going to go to a little hell box with a toilet with no seat. Hope you didn't like toilet seats, because we're not going to give you one anymore. It's just too much for you. So, and then Graham leaves. Now we have a uniformed cop come in, which Graham and Tammy, like I said, they were nice to him the whole time. They gave him back rubs, they're humoring him, laughing at his jokes, telling him he's a good man. And as they leave, that's it. These uniformed cops and prison guards don't give a fuck anymore about you, Chris. They're doing their job. They just want to get in there and do their job and go home and have a barbecue with their family. And so they cuff him up, chain him up. He's sitting there in a t-shirt and basketball shorts and no shoes. And they, for the last time ever again, he will never be on his own schedule ever again. And as just a grown adult, that has got to be hard to stomach. You can't just say, oh, hey, I'm going to the bathroom, or I'm going over here, or I'm going to walk over and sit under that tree, or think I'm going to have another glass of water, or it's over. You're just a lump of bones that an overweight uniformed cop can tell you what to do. Just, Watts, stand up. Watts, come over here. Watts, sit down. Watts, put your hands behind your back. Watts, cough up, cuff up, cough up. Watts, strip down. That's his life. That's his whole life. Imagine everything that you've done since August. And all he's done is sat in a cold, hell, shitty, small room and read the Bible. Okay. So then they bring him over. Cops, they don't hurry or anything either. They don't care. So they're like, Watts, go sit over there. And then you see all these people just on the body cams. You see them all just kind of shooting the shit, talking. What are you doing this weekend? Oh, the Broncos are going to be good this year, right? Who's the quarterback? I don't know. They're just talking about cop stuff, and Chris is just sitting there alone, just surrounded by a maze of concrete. And it's like, this is the picture, Chris, that you should have been picturing in your head when thinking, should I kill my entire family? Shoot, should I do that? It's like you should have been picturing chained up alone with no shoes on I think he was picturing, like, with Nicole at the sand dunes, like, woo! Everybody's gone surfing, surfing USA, woo, woo! But yeah, he's just sitting there. And then it was a funny moment because then, Watts, get up, come over here. And he gets up and he shuffles over like a little monkey boy. And then he walks through the door of the jail. And then the door closes. And for the first time in this whole thing, the footage stops. And there's sort of a feeling of like, hey, what the hell? I can't see what's happening anymore. It's like I was so spoiled with seeing everything in this case that it was like, hey, I need to. Where's the inside the jail cam? We need the inside the jail cam. Who's posting that? I can't just be cut off now. I don't have any friends anymore. I've been watching this since August. What am I supposed to do now? You can't just hang me out to dry now. I'm going to have to go watch old footage of Jody or something. This can't be the end. Like, I had this feeling of like, wait, like, there's no cell cam? We just been so, and I think that going forward, this case is a new era. We all know that. And it's kind of taken for granted that we all know that now, but in 5-10 years, when this is the normal, when you just will get all the footage very quickly, just there you go. People are going to not even know how it used to be, you know? I feel like an old man, like, hey, back in my day, we had to wait 10 years for the interrogation. Is that even a good old man? Just kind of seemed like a retarded guy. Back in my day, the interrogation was in a book. We had to read it. But it's a new time. And yeah, so let's go with his lawyer's decision. I can't imagine it was Chris's. I bet, this is how I picture it. I'm just speculating. I bet his lawyers were like, Chris, there's only 2 options. Let's stop wasting everyone's time. Let's just plead guilty. No one wants us to argue that Shanann murdered her kids. No one believes that. No one believes anything you say, actually. And yeah, let's just get this over with quickly. And I don't know if their lawyers came to the DA and said, hey, we'll plead guilty to everything if you take the death penalty off the table, or if the DA went and talked to Shanann's parents and they said, we don't want the death penalty, we'd rather do life in prison without parole. And if then the DA came back and then communicated with Chris's lawyer saying, we're not, going to go with the death penalty as long as he just pleads guilty to everything, quick, easy, boom, boom, boom. And if they went like that. But it was a great move. I'm sure Chris didn't want to be just sitting in the courtroom. I feel like if you kill an entire family, sitting in a courtroom with that person's family is one of the worst experiences you can live through. You're just sitting there in the orange suit like, listen, I am really sorry. And hearing the family read, like Shanann's brother and the dad, hearing them read that stuff at sentencing is just brutal. And then like I said, I thought the DA handled it great. Going to talk to Shanann's family, they lost more than anyone, so get their opinion. I thought that was great. And then what the DA said, he didn't go into too much detail, but he just kind of laid out there in sentencing everything that Chris had done. And for the first time, we had gotten that information. We heard that Bella had defense wounds, which is just so sad, trying to get air. And I thought the whole judge thing was smooth. how he sentenced Chris, just essentially saying anything less than just your entire life would be an insult to this case. I mean, it's so insane what you did that there's nothing else we can do. And I think that's part of why the whole court and sentencing and everything kind of went so smooth, is it's like it's just so far into the death penalty or life in prison categories that, I mean, what are we even it just is absurd to even draw it out. So I thought that was great. You don't have to keep, Shanann's whole family would have had to keep coming back to Colorado and keep being in the room with that just lizard boy. And now it's closure. They can go home, you know, and just start trying to figure out how to move on and how to just have some sort of normal life going forward. And I mean, what a case, you guys. Just what a case on so many different levels. Just the amount of footage, and then just a true American sociopath, psychopath, whatever you want to call it, just, which is always just fascinating. And, you know, and I don't know, I'm not going to say I'm not going to do any more Chris Watts videos, but I do feel like I'm nearing kind of the end where I can just put the baby to bed, which feels good because I didn't know when that was going to happen. And it's been hard because it's like I don't have any friends that are into it. It's hard to get someone into. It's like, hey, like, you gotta like check all this out. This guy murdered his whole family, and they're just like, what? I don't want to hang out with you anymore. And you're like, oh, never mind, okay. And yeah, it's just been wild. I really appreciate everybody following along and participating while we all kind of just went over this. I think it was therapeutic. And I think I might want to do a couple videos next on the Fire Festival. Have you guys been watching that? If you haven't, check out, there's a documentary on Netflix and a documentary on Hulu, and it's Fire, F-Y-R-E. And it is fascinating. It's this guy named Billy McFarland, just a sociopath from New Jersey, and he's like one of these financial freaks that just lies to investors and always has a scam and is a con artist, and they throw this music festival with Ja Rule, who just comes off as a moron in these documentaries, and it's Ja Rule just, he makes this toast like 5 times, like, here's to living like movie stars and to partying like rock stars. And then Billy, the sociopath, like pipes in, and fucking like porn stars. And they all cheers like, woo! And it's just a sociopath and a moron rapper. It's murder! And they try to throw this music festival, and it's just all hell breaks loose. So I think that could be like the next couple videos, comment on that, or it's very possible that I just, right after I quit filming this, I just think of another Chris Watts video and just keep going. That's the beauty of YouTube. I just get to do whatever I want. You know, it's such a good time to be a true crime fan. We got so many good true crime YouTube channels. Remember when we just had to watch like Nancy Grace? I mean, those days are gone. That lady, man. That lady. But anyway, thank you guys so much for everybody that's participated and subscribed. This has been great. I really appreciate it. More to come. I hope you guys have your sweatshirts and wool socks on today. Stay warm. Thank you and good night. True Crime Loser out. Woo!